Okay, we are live. Welcome everybody. It's Carl Hovelson here along with Don Hamilton and Joyce Radford. And we will probably see Val Smith popping on here and Tracy Jameson and maybe a few others over the course of the next hour. We're going to try and keep this short today. We're going to just cover a few things. I know I've been working with Val and Tracy on a few things, and I'm just going to wait for them to come in and announce those kind of things that we're working on for the company. But the topic today is how to build a successful online business, and it's a discussion here. We're going to have this discussion quite a bit because the average marketers are just not getting it out there, and it has nothing to do with the newest business coming out or anything like that. What we call the shiny ball syndrome. It has to do with knowing how to market your business. Most people join businesses, quit businesses, thinking that that business is no good. What's no good is their marketing mind. They don't know how to market. You can get involved in any business online today, market and make money. Okay, if you know what you're doing. If you want to make really good money, you got to make sure you grab the right company with the right product, the right structure, and everything to suit you. Okay, because not every business model is going to suit you, so you have to look at where your strengths are in business. And this is a lot of things that happens with a lot of marketers. They get hooked up on the hype that might be going on about something big coming out. They may get hooked on a product or something that's out there, and not understanding what the comp plan is or how the comp plan can benefit them. New people will have real hard times with certain comp plans that are out there. Veterans will pretty much be able to build anything, but they will have certain strengths. Like mine is a matrix. I can build any matrix that's out there. It doesn't matter. Throw anything at me and I can build it. Okay. I could do a binary, but a binary is a lot more challenging. Okay, because you have to be a lot more observant about how the binary is built because you've got to balance left to right. Matrices, there is no balance. You don't have to worry about balance in there. You have to worry about building a stable foundation, and that, again, is one of my strengths in building matrices, and that's why I chose that. You have uni-levels, you have one-up system, two-up systems, all kinds of systems, ups, downs, sideways, whatever. You got all kinds of these systems here. But the problem that most people have is when they get involved in a business, they have no idea how the comp plan works. So we're actually in the process of creating a very cool presentation for our business that's going to literally make it impossible for anybody not to get it. The way it stands today, I can see a bit of the complication understanding the comp plan, although it is very, very simple. Just when you're not sure what a comp plan looks like, that's where it can get scary and confusing. So on the panel here, from what you've seen, talking about the comp plan of the Legends Network, let's talk about that a bit. Let's give us your opinion, I guess, on how it's being presented. Like, is it being presented to you in a way that you can understand, or are we talking about having to take in 5 or 6 of these different webinars in order to get a good understanding? We'll start with you, Don.
No, I'm understanding it. I'll be honest with you. I mean, I've never made a lot of money online, and sometimes when Val, big numbers up there, I'm still having a hard time buying into the program that Don Hamilton in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, can be talking about $1 million a year, or even $500,000 a year. And most of that is because I've never made that. I've never made over $100,000 in any career, and that was working many, many hours a day. So, no, I understand it. What I'm really loving about it is that you really and truly only need 2, and whereas in my background I have not been a great recruiter, but I'm learning. I do pretty well talking belly to belly with people. I'm not real good online, but I'm learning it. I placed my first solo ad the other day, and I've got a couple opt-ins, but nothing yet. But No, I'm finding it's pretty easy to understand. And we have 4 a day, so, even somebody like me, I mean, I can just kind of keep going back and listening.
Yeah, and we have them recorded, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter, like, I'll be quite honest, even myself, when I first came to this, it took me probably 5 or 6 webinar sessions before I really got it. And, the funny part is that there is so much more money that can actually be made in this comp plan that doesn't even get talked about. And we leave it out for a reason because of, like you just said, you can't actually fathom that. And sometimes people will say, well, because they've used to be making like $2,000, maybe $3,000 a month. That's like, and working, a pretty good job, and that's what you get paid, right? I mean, I used to think the same thing. Like, I used to average around $3,000 to $7,000 a month in the programs I was doing, but then I'm working like 70 hours a week and stuff like that, right? To do that, and then as I started growing and learning what I was doing, then I got to understand things a little bit better, and then I started experiencing $1,000 days, $2,000 days, $6,000 days, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 months, stuff that I never ever dreamed could actually happen. And this is the one thing that people have to get over, is that we're not dealing with a local economy anymore. We're dealing with a world economy. So that's why affiliate marketers, when you hear them making $100,000 a month and stuff like that, that is absolutely possible out there in this world that we live in, this virtual world, because we're dealing with an entire global economy, billions of people, okay, versus, if you're in a local business, so you're dealing with just the local population that's there, okay? Maybe if you're lucky, there's some online stuff, but this is why people can't fathom that, because they've always worked for a specific wage every single hour, and that's it. I make $10 an hour, I make $20 an hour, $15 an hour. That's all that they're able to compute, okay? So, we're talking about, $80 to $150 a day, right, roughly, for the average person. So when you sit here on the internet and, in our business where we get paid $50 for one referral, then $50 for another referral, and then $80 for another referral, excluding those coded bonuses. Because really what people don't understand is we have what we call the re-entry system that he talks about. Those re-entry systems, when they come in and you start doing 2 people in there who get 2 people, this is what happens. On the first person that you sponsor in a re-entry position, you make $50. But then you also make the $30 coded bonus because you're your own sponsor in there. Because in our regular system, what happens is when you sit there and use, like if I go and I sponsor you, Don, what happens is you become my first one. I make $50. That $30 goes to my sponsor. Okay? Right. That's how that works. Now, in reality, with the re-entry system, I'm sponsoring my own new position. So I'm the sponsor of that position. So when I put someone in through there, I make the $50, I make the $30, and I make the matching coded $30. So I'm making $110 off of that because I'm my own sponsor. And I make the matching coded bonus off of that.
Yeah. So,
in the regular matrix, you're making 50, and then everything is passed up. In the re-entry positions, you're making $60 extra, 50 plus the 60. This is where a lot of people don't understand just how powerful this is. And not only that, you're not getting paid 50 cents a person on the first level, 50 cents a person on the second level, and $5 a person on the third level. You're getting paid $5, $1, $11 in a re-entry.
Right.
And this is, we don't talk about that. Because again, like you mentioned, people can't understand that. But the money is there, and this company is still making 18%, okay? Which is well more than they need to be sustainable. 12% is about all they really need to make. So now the company's making some pretty good profit of 6%. And we're still paying out more than any other matrix system that's there. That's why That's why the money can be paid out the way we say it. And it's kind of funny because, you know, like you said, you could go and get a job today and get paid like, you know, $10 an hour. You know, work an 8-hour day, that's $80. Well, we could turn around and make one sale and we're done. We've just done 8 hours of work, right, on one sale.
You're right. I know.
You see, and that's what people don't understand. They because they're not used to that. They're actually a business now. They're not an employee anymore. They're a business. So that's why you start making the profit you do. So let's go over to Joyce. Joyce, what are your feelings about the comp plan? Is it understandable to you? Is there some things that are still kind of complicated?
Well, I've heard Val say, you know, $5 on the third level, and I've heard people say the $11 on the third level, and this is a little bit confusing, but you explained it. I did have to go in several times before I understood the comp plan.
Yep.
I mean, it is a different comp plan that I've ever seen. I mean, where else can you get paid on people that you help? I mean, this is what I've been looking for a long time, because I've helped people for a long time and not made a dime off of them.
Yeah.
And this way you put them in under you and you help them and it helps you.
You actually get paid more money
Yeah.
when you actually help your downline. You know, rather than taking the personals yourself, you start putting them through them, and that turns around and generates you those re-entry positions. And when that happens, you do the same thing in there. That's where everything starts to triple. Okay? And again, you know, we could talk about this all day, and it'll be nice when the animation comes in, because then a lot of people are going to understand that a lot better. And that's what kind of has me really excited, because even for myself, you know, coming in and understanding matrices, this is an extreme hybrid, okay? This is something that, you know, I can understand why no companies have actually tried to put something like this together. First of all, they're taking 20% off the top, a loss off the top to themselves, because we're taking that 20% and throwing it back. Okay, so companies don't like to do that. They like to take 27 to 32, 42% off of, you know, the top there, because they have a lot of breakage, right? Us, it's funny because our breakage in this company starts at about level 18. Okay, that's where the breakage starts. At that point, you're not even noticing the breakage. Okay, and it's very small anyways to even be noticed. But you know, there's no way we could have no breakage unless we were paying 100%, which we're not. Okay, and in actual fact, no company ever pays 100%. Okay, because there's always fees involved of some kind. So you know, it may be close to that, like in some of the one-up systems and stuff you see out there, but it's not completely 100%. Here, you know, for what we pay out, and we're paying about, I don't know, they say around 80. When I calculate it, looks more like about 82, 83%, which means the company's still making 17, 18%, which is huge still for the company, right, to be sustainable. But when you're paying out that kind of money that this company is paying out, that's what draws masses, and that's what keeps people involved. You know, your first sale, you make $50. Your next month renewal is $50. The company is smart. They retain the first $50 of all your commissions to cover the next month, and they pay you out everything over and above that. Yep. You know, that's what is really powerful, and I'm surprised a lot of companies don't do that, because that's the smartest way to keep and retain your people within your business. That, you know, they just hold that $50 there, so they know that the renewal for next month is going to happen. It's not going to be lost, right? So, Tracy, we've just been talking about our comp plan, right?
Awesome.
And you know, talking about, you know, how, you know, was it what was the word I'm thinking of now?
Hard to understand.
Hard to understand. Complicated. That's the word I was looking for. Complicated. I had to think there for a second. A little bit of brain mush there. But, you know, complicated to understand first time around. Because, I mean, we had some people in there. We had Kelly in the room here today. I'm not sure if she's on listening. I haven't actually checked to see. I got to check to see if there's any questions being asked there. But, you know, she was on today asking a few vital questions. You know, on the re-entry positions, do you get
Right.
paid on those in the matrix? You know, because they're free, do you still get paid on them? Of course you do, and you get a matching bonus of everything that fills. So, you know, that thing is building within your regular matrix, which you're getting paid on, and then the system goes up and goes, oh, look, we got a re-entry there, and that's got about $500 in it, so you know what, we're going to pay you a $500 matching bonus. Even though that was a free covered by the company, you get paid on everything within it literally twice. Okay, once in your own matrix and then again on a matching bonus, which is very, very cool. So, Tracy, give us the way that you felt when you first learned. I mean, we kind of talked a bit about that earlier, but not in here. So, talk about how it took you to understand, just like I told them about 5 or 6 times for me. So, give your side of that too.
Yeah, and I think that we actually had this conversation earlier today, Carl, you and Val and I, about there's a whole lot of conversation about this, is that the webinars are just, you have to go to the webinars, and it took me a few times going through it, watching it, to really, I mean, instinctively, I had a good snapshot of what it was. Okay, instinctively I did, and that's kind of just how we operate that way. So I knew what it was. I had a really good snapshot because Val does a very good way of explaining that, and I think he leaves out a certain degree of it for very good reason, because most people they will be overwhelmed, and you know, you have to kind of just give a visual of what's going on. We're going to be putting on a little bit more of that together too, but I had to go there probably a few times to really get a good step, because I really did not understand. I've never been involved with coded bonuses before, so I really wasn't sure how they worked. And I had to literally get my pen out, because I am an analytic, and I had to get my pen out and go down, and finally I went, oh, I finally got it. And when I got it, I mean, I almost had a stroke. Because the money there, if people understand that just in that one feature alone, will make people millionaires. Because if you can understand that you get the first two of the first two of the first two of the first two of the first two, and do that from here to forever, and that grows exponentially, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, etc. down, and you multiply that by how many people that you have that you've sponsored, that alone, and then matching bonuses on top of that. Okay, let's just talk about that. Just that one component, you know. And here's where I think that people are getting overwhelmed, because the average person, or the person that has maybe not been in network marketing that long, or does not, you know, that's the first thing that professional networkers do, is go to the compensation plan. They want to see, what do I have to do to get paid? Go to the top of the plan. Here's the end result. What do I have to do? Work backwards to see what I need to do to create that wealth, and for me and for my team. That's kind of the thought process that people go through. So that one component, if people could just understand that, two who get two, and never before I mean, we're talking about just in a two who sponsor two structure, and people kind of put that towards, I mean, people think about that in a matrix, 2x3 matrix or 2x2 matrix. That's kind of what's been the glut in the industry for a while. But you have to remove that from your thought process, because that's not what this is. This is the first time that this particular structure, two who get two, works perfectly. Would you not agree with that, Carl? It works perfectly, absolutely perfectly, and it goes on forever and ever. There's no end to it. It goes to infinity. So, I mean, that's just one structure of it. So then when you talk about, okay, two who get two, now you start with another profit center. Now you've just doubled your whole 2x15 matrix. Now you tripled it, you know. Then you go and look at the compensation structure now, if you want to just sort of change gears or change lanes for a minute, and get into the monthly residual part of it. Those were the upstart, fast start bonuses paid every week, what I was talking about. Now you got the matching coded bonuses. Now you also get the matrix income, and you go and watch that. Anybody wants to give their heart a good jolt, like you're riding in a fighter jet or have a stroke, go watch that video that Blair did on just the monthly residual income. He takes you through a little journey there for about 14 minutes of absolute sheer magic. And so I think the problem that people have, or maybe it's not a problem, it's a challenge. The challenge that people have is that there's so much here that everybody, and we know that people get the analysis paralysis. The only thing you need to do is go out and sponsor to and help them get there too. That's all you need to know. The rest of it takes care of itself. People say, I mean, I say to people, and this has worked for me really well in the past and in my corporate life, you may have heard me say this before, if people do ask you a question, because, you know, I'm not sure that everybody can answer every single question. Even Val said that it took him a long time to really grasp the whole thing too, is that you know, I can always say, I'm not too sure, but I can sure find out. You know, and that's what this is all about. This is what the team is all about. This is what, you know, your resources for your upline and us right here as a team as well. So, you know, be careful about getting into that analytical mode. I'm guilty of it because I want to know, you know, I can't do anything until I can answer every question. Well, you know what? You don't need to answer every question. All you need to know is that you can create additional profit centers that you're going to make your matching income off of as well, and you open up another whole 2x15 matrix that you're going to make money off as well. Keep it simple, and we're going to be creating some more supporting animation documents, presentations, videos. We're going to be doing more of that. All you have to know is you guys are here at the very beginning as this whole thing is. I mean, we've got so much talent. We've got so much opportunity. We've got such great people here as a foundation structure in this company, and I mean, we're not going anywhere but to the moon with this whole opportunity. Just be really careful about getting into that analytical mode and taking this apart component by component, because you'll be here till Christmas before you lift your finger to do anything. That's my opinion. Okay.
Well, you know, I mean, you kind of hit it right on the head there with all of that. It's just, you know, we're starting off, and I just kind of mentioned these guys about the animation. That thing is going to make such a huge, huge difference in the understanding. I mean, I can see some of the people that come in here have never seen a comp plan before, and, you know, they're looking at the charts that Val brings up, but, you know, a lot of times it's like, I don't understand it, right? They can't process it. But, you know, like in a video or in an animation where it shows, okay, the money's going here, the money's going here, the people.
I think the one, here, Carl.
They understand that.
I think the one that really struck for me, and I think it's the one that probably is the most important for everyone, is understanding those those $30 coded bonuses. For me, that was it. If you can grasp that and nothing else, you will be a millionaire. Honestly,
the animation is going to make the huge difference.
And that's why we had that conversation earlier today, and that was where I said, you know, it's static. People can't. I mean, Val does just a heck of a good job about. I mean, the guy, I was just speaking with somebody earlier, and I said, you know, in the world of brains, he got a couple more neurons than the rest of us did, because the way his brain operates is phenomenal. What he could generate in a conversation and present is sheer magic.
Yeah.
And
it's it just naturally flows through the whole thing.
Well, he is, but he just has. I mean, don't forget, he's a professional. He's been in the industry all these years. That's why I go to his. That's why I'm on. And you know what? I'm on every single webinars, because I learn the dialogue. I want to listen to him. Yeah. You know, when he veers off to the left there on those ones where we're there for an hour and a bit, and I mean, I gobble up every morsel of what comes out of his lips, because he is so on the money about.
Right? He just
and they're different. Everyone's different, you know, and that's what's so exciting about them, is because you never know what you're gonna get every time he shows up. Well, no. And we have a lot of fun, you know. But I mean, here's the thing that we talked about earlier, is that I think that where people might be having a bit of a struggle in really visualizing how powerful this is and how lucrative it is, and I hate using that word because everybody uses it, but it's true, that the page is static, and all you see is these 8 people or whatever they are on there with $30 on them, and he talks and he explains it, and that's where my brain operates. I'm already, now I can see the animation in my brain, because now I understand it. So that's what we're going to start seeing, if we can't generate something where people go, oh, I get it a little sooner.
And that's what it is, because most, you and I and maybe, you know, the few others understand where that money goes, how that goes, because you know, we can understand it. But those people could come to these webinars over and over again, and they go, I still don't know where that.
I don't still have, yeah. Well,
I still don't know where it goes.
It took me a few times. It took me several times. And I'm telling you, I had my pencil out and I was drawing circles. I'm going, where the heck? How does that work? Where does all that money come from? And then I finally figured it out, and I went, oh.
Yeah, and the company is still making a good chunk of money too. You know, with all this money that's being paid out, they're still making almost 20%, if not 20 exactly.
Yeah.
So, and that's a lot. I mean, you know, in this industry, 12% is sustainable enough for a company to do everything they need because we're digital, right?
Well,
but now they've got some extra good profit coming in on top of that, and they're still paying out more money than any other matrix system.
Right, and don't forget. I mean, let's take this right back to the source. I mean, look at the company. The company is already well established. It's not like they have to go and search and create something from scratch. It's already, we just laid another product on top of it and said, okay, let's run. Yeah. So I mean, that alone has probably saved tens of thousands of dollars, if not more than that, right off the bat, because it's already a structure that's operating like a well-oiled machine. All we've done is come over here and, you know, thrown our lasso around it. We're going to run with it. We got something that's, you know, that's just part of the structure, but different, but separate. Same.
You know, when I finally came over to this thing here, it was like I was joining a company that had been around for a couple of years. I mean, that's how stabilized they already were, right? Yeah. And this is the difference between a brand new startup from scratch and starting with already an established company. Yeah. That's the total difference. I mean, all this is a wing or a branch off of you know, the Neutronics company.
It's like a marketing arm off of whatever.
That's all it was. It was just saying, okay, we'll just create these pages here and we're on our way. Because we don't have to worry. I mean, the infrastructure's already there, right? Yeah. So it's just like creating a page, and that was it. So,
well, for me, I mean, I like to be. like I said, I'm kind of a bit of a square peg. I don't really fit into a lot of structure.
You look like that. I kind of see that.
I am a square peg. I'm a bit of a rebel, and you know, I'm a pioneer, and I like to be part of the structure. I always have an opinion. You probably already figured that out, right?
Yeah.
So I like to be part of a structure where I have some input to put into it, because that's part of my background. I mean, that's my corporate background. It's about, you know, making people, you know, bringing them together as a team, getting the ideas and the people married together so that it works efficiently. You know, I'm a sort of a systems analysis and you know, competencies and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of where I'm really good at. So that's why I like to be. I mean, and I'm a risk taker. And what bigger risk is there than being at the beginning of a company? Because you know what, you could have an egg on your face, and I've had that happen to me a couple of times. But you know what? Hey, it's all part of, you know, being a pioneer and being able to take the lumps along with the medals too.
Yeah.
So, but this one, I tell you, when I made a public statement, and I did, I tell you, I've never done that in my life, because I've always said, you know, something could go wrong. There's always somebody tapping on my shoulder going, you know, there might be something here that's just not quite right. And Tracy, are you willing to, you know, stake your reputation on this? And this time I am. I just said, you know, I have no problem with standing up publicly, and I did it. And it's on the internet, and you can never take that down.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And I said publicly, this is it. I'm done. This is my home, and you know what? I'm putting my faith in the company. I'm putting my faith in Val and all the people that I'm working with, you, Carl, and all the people that are here. And I'll say it every time. I'll stand up and say, you know what? Nothing's perfect, and you know, the bumps along the way are what weeds out the chaff from the grain. Yeah. And you know what? We've got something pretty special here, and I'm so excited about the next month or two. Like I said, yesterday, record day, over 800 people.
Yeah.
You know, so that's an indicator right there.
Well, it absolutely is. I mean, I had that same deep discussion with Val the other day too about this. I mean, you know, I said it out that, you know, Val was my very first mentor.
Yeah.
And you know,
I wish I had been part of it.
It's nice. It's nice that things have come like full circle. And you know, I've said to him, I says, you know, just like you, Val, this is it. This is my legacy program. I'm not doing anything else anymore. I don't think I have to do anything else. This here has everything that I've been waiting for years to happen, and now I'm going to be able to go out on top, feeling good, knowing that I'm going to help a ton of people along the way, which I've been trying to do for years, and I have done. I've helped a lot of people make a lot of money, but this one here, I think I'm going to make more people money in this one than I've ever done in the combination of everything else I've done.
Well, yeah, and for me too. I mean, I'm an educator. And I probably sound like a broken record, but you know, I've studied so much over my course of my lifetime. Right from, I mean, I love to learn. I have the yearn to learn, or you know, the need for speed, all that kind of stuff. And I've done that right from high school. I mean, I've paid for more education through my lifetime because I want to learn how to do things properly. I'm curious about how things evolve, technology, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, through that I've gained some pretty good skills. But I have had, as a mission of mine over these last 2 or 3 years, is to really correct, and you've heard me say this over and over about correcting an industry, because I'm so sick and tired of, you know, my heart bleeds for the people out there that think that those garbage programs is the network marketing industry. It's not. You know, that this passive hypes and all that garbage that's out there, and you know, people somebody told me a couple of weeks ago they'd lost $30,000 this year, and I said, are you for real? Like, and they keep coming back to me with new ones, and I'm going, it's the same as the last one. It's just got a different name on it, you know, and they just take it, and a lot of them are the same people too. So you know what? I would love to be able to weed those people out and put them on public display, show them that, you know, hey, you guys are a bunch of thieves. And so with, I mean, I love what Val says. You know what? He doesn't need the money, for heaven's sakes. The guy's living the life of Riley, you know, but he has, and this is what really, really solidified it for me, is his intent, because we can't do anything without intent. No. And a lot of the people out there, their intent really is crooked. I mean, it's so. I mean, we know that because we know. Hey, this is, and the one thing that I don't understand about this industry is the people out there with the crooked intent. This is a word of mouth industry. Like, do you not think that people are going to find out who you are? But you know what? His intent is so in the right place about. You know, he says the company is, this is for the distributors. He says it's not for the company, it's for the distributors to make money to go out there. And he said, and I wrote it down, he says, we sell knowledge and education, and you can subscribe to common sense and logic. And I love what he said about that, because that for me just really hit the heartstrings, you know. And all the people. It was funny, someone just asked me earlier when I was talking about the guys who are doing, all the people, not guys, because there's women in there too, the top industry people that are doing these interviews, and this fellow said, well, are they doing them for free? And I said, darn tootin' they are. I said, you wouldn't believe the lineup of people and the interviews and the trainings, and what I have learned just over the last few weeks. I said, like I said, I'm a professional student. I've been a professional learning tool all these years. Don't call myself a tool, but I've learned more in the last few weeks just listening to the trainings and to the interviews than I have in the last few weeks than I have probably over the last, I don't know, kind of decade. And you know, that's a testimony just on itself, because you know, you can go through books, and I'm guilty of this because I was in, you know, marketing and all kinds of stuff, and you read it from a textbook. How the heck are you ever going to do anything off a page in a textbook until you put it into practical application? And this kind of stuff here is the nuts and the bolts about, you know what, this is what I do when I get up in the morning. These are the pitfalls, and what I love to hear about it, because people have these icons on pedestals about, you know, they think that they were born this way and they had a gift, and you know what, they had the silver spoon in their mouth, and you know what, I love listening to the stories. Evan Clausen, he's one of them, and you listen to him and the things that he went through growing up, and you know how he developed who he was because of the situation he was in. It was pitiful, really, but you know what, the trials, and this is what separates the A-list from the B's and C's, is that they're born with that extra gene of the fighting gene in them, that success gene. It's that they're not afraid to fail, and everybody fails once and they think, oh, that bloody thing doesn't work. But you know what, it's the ones out there, the A-listers, who take it in stride and learn something every single, I always say, if you're going to fail, fail forward. And you know, you got to fail over and over and over and over again. I don't like the term because it is never a failure. It's always just a learning process. And so you know, if we can take that to the masses and say, look, we care about you, we support you, we're going to educate you. Every single person out there has the same opportunity to create the kind of wealth and stability in their life that these Ray Higdons and Todd Falcones and, of course, Val Smith, everybody can do it. But you know what? They've been beat up, beat down, lied to, trashed, and followed the wrong people, followed the wrong programs, and just really not had the opportunity to trust in the right area and follow the right crowd. And you know, we were always told that as children.
Though, Tracy, I mean, you've got a lot of companies that are coming up saying we have the best marketing tools and all that kind of stuff that's out there. Here's my opinion on this whole thing, because, you know, I kind of went for that at one point in time and realized that, you know what, that's just a crock. Here's what it is. This is network marketing. What we're doing right now is network marketing. Before the internet, all that stuff came around, we used to gather in gatherings. We used to sit there and we'd have a little stage or whatever, the front of the room, and people would go up and they'd talk about the product and the history of the company and that kind of stuff. But that's not where everything was sold. Everything was sold when we went to the break or at the end. That's when everybody started networking, like what we're doing here. We're all sitting here networking. I'm telling you right now, this is the most powerful tool in all of networking. When you get together in a place like this, where you have different people in here. I mean, like, you know, you've got you and I who are seasoned veterans in here. We've got Joyce and Don that are veterans. You know, they've been around for a while in here. And then we have other people who are on here listening who have only been maybe this is their first year or first month in the business. But they're sitting here listening to us. They're not saying, you know, they're not being told, well, go use this tool here and just press a button and it'll make a post over here and it'll make a post over there, you know, and you can just go and use all this stuff and put everything in automation and then just sit and watch your email come in and have all the sales come in. That's such bullshit, it's unbelievable. Okay? I've been around that. All the stuff, and excuse my language for that, but, you know, it is such crap. You know, because I will tell you right now, I have 100% closing for the first time in my 34 years, 100% closing of people that go to the webinars.
Yeah.
I had not had that in any company, sending people an autoresponder or something like that. Are you kidding me? I got a fairly big list, and it's very unresponsive.
Totally. You know what? People are sad.
What happens when you bring them live, like Kelly today, in there asking the questions, we're able to take back and answer, yes, Kelly, this is what it was, and this is how you do the money and all that kind of stuff there. This is what people are waiting for. This is what sells. This right here. Not a stupid autoresponder or anything. You know, I never used an autoresponder up until 2 years ago. And then I was convinced to use one, and I spent, well, obviously, around $800 or $900 now. $800 or $900, maybe over $1,000 on this autoresponder, sending stuff out occasionally to a list that doesn't do a damn thing. I'm ready to just trash that entire list, shut down my autoresponder, and start again from scratch because it's useless. I'm paying $30 a month for a list that doesn't even want to listen to me. No,
and you know what? And this is kind of. And I know it's like a swinging a big ship. We got a really big ship here to swing around. We're turning the wheel and it's coming around. You know what? I would rather get somebody right now that's never had anything to do with network marketing, sees an opportunity, and are just eager to come and say, let me show you. Come and you know what I say to people? I said, you know what? I know hey, come and join us. I know you're going to love it. That's it. So really, the only thing that people need to learn here, this is all they need to learn, how to invite people to a webinar, and that's it. Go and make friends. People have lost their social skills. They text, they email, they go hide behind Facebook. I love Facebook. But it has a downside too because people will creep. I call them Facebook creepers, right? I hope my sister's not looking because she's one of them. But you know, they'll go. You can go in, and I love that part about it too. If you utilize it, because you can go and make friends with somebody. You can go find out exactly who they are. I mean, you want to know anything about me? Go onto my Facebook page, man. You're going to know absolutely everything about me. There's jokes, there's humor, there's sadness, there's visuals, there's my view, there's you know, what I like to do in my spare time, my friends, my family, there's everything there, right? So I want people to know who I am, you know, and I want to know who the people are that I'm talking to. So it's a really great tool with that. But but guess what? You have to take it one step further. You have to be able to communicate with people. Yeah, you know, chatting back and forth is good. You can text all the way along, but you know what? There's that human emotion that still gets lost. That's the problem with the kids.
Well, this is the autoresponder problem. You know what? I want to show you guys.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I want to show you guys the most powerful autoresponder in the world. Are you ready to see it?
Yeah.
A phone. That's the most powerful autoresponder you can ever use.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
There's more people on this autoresponder than I do on anything else.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? And here's the other misconception that a lot of people have. They think because they said, "Oh, I've got a Excel sheet with I've got like 1 million people on it, and you know I got this funnels going on, and I've got this and I've got that, and I've got these autoresponders set up, and I got my capture forms and all this kind of stuff." And I go, all you need is 2 people. Right?
No,
go find 2 people, right?
That's the thing too. But I mean, like everybody worries so much about, oh, I got to set up an autoresponder and we need letters.
Yeah.
You know,
and they waste time.
It is a waste of time. You know, when conference rooms first came out, okay, I had created a page that I sent everybody to, and all they did was click a button and it sent them right to my webinar. That's it. There was nothing they had to fill out. Didn't capture any phone numbers or anything like that, because you know what? They're useless anyways. Half the time the phone numbers don't work, okay, because they put in crap or they put in crappy emails. So what the hell? It doesn't work. So I personally,
they don't want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to them.
But even in my rotator system, okay, in my rotator system, you know, I've been doing some split testing, and it seems like I'm having better results with the landing page. So after they fill out the form, they get to that page where it says either go to a live or go to a recording. That's the links now that I'm using because I'm getting more response.
Just the landing page.
I'm getting nobody filling in the forms.
Yeah.
I actually like to do it myself.
Yeah,
because
people
are on somebody's stupid autoresponder list.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
You know what? Be upfront.
Maybe I'm a caveman. I don't know.
Well, you know what, Carl? I think that I mean, we definitely we've got the same mindset. We've got the same mission. I want to pick up the phone. You know, I mean, it's been great. I've connected with a few people the last few days that I haven't had a chance to speak with for some time. And you know what? It's been awesome because, you know, people need to just get their social skills down, and I know people have a fear of the phone. We always used to talk about the fear, you know, the 10,000-pound phone. Well, we're not asking you to go cold call a bunch of people. Connect with people that you know, or, you know, get to know some people like Facebook. I love Facebook. I think it's awesome. LinkedIn, there's all kinds of places that you can go and just go find somebody with common interests.
I tell them let's get on Skype and let's talk. You know, so what if you trip over your tongue a few times? Get your tongue out of your system, and then you'll be fine. It's going to happen. You're going to step on your tongue occasionally. Right?
It works for me. You know?
No, you're natural that way. Don't sit there like, I don't know how many times this has happened where I have a script here, and you can see them reading the script. And it's like, hey, you know, I've stopped people and says, look, you don't need the script. Just talk to me like I'm your next door neighbor. Okay? Yeah. That's all you have to do. Just whatever.
Get off my lawn.
Right? And you know, when I first started doing it, I'm telling you, I tripped over my tongue so much, and by the time I finished a phone call with, you know, my first couple of people, I must have lost 5 pounds because I was just sweating it. Right? It's a good thing they couldn't see me on video because I'm telling you, I was drenched.
We were talking earlier about that hangout that we did a few weeks ago. A couple weeks ago, and I'm still laughing. I still have this visual of you when we were talking about doing presentations, about you with the sweat thing going on, and you know, and Val with him disappearing out of the lens of the camera and sticking a toothbrush down. I'm still laughing about that. I don't think I've had that much fun ever. You know, and this is. I think this is the culture, because I come from the corporate piece, so there's a whole bunch of the corporate that I will always refer to, and it really is about a company creating a culture. We have a family culture, and it's about, you know, bringing that, taking the starchiness out of business, you know, business is still business. But that, you know, it's all about making a profit, but it's also about, you know, the team making a profit, the company making a profit, being part of the team, supporting the company, supporting Val, supporting each other. You know, and as that grows, we have a very solid core. It grows, but it really is about, for me, it's I want to have fun. If we're not having fun, you guys all go take a hike. You know what? We have a lot of fun. We laugh, we joke, we respect each other, but we're real people. I mean, like I said this morning, I said, heck, I wish I was down the street. I'd just drop over for a cup of coffee, for heaven's sakes. We were having that much fun.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that's why network marketers, once they get their groove going, they make so much money.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're treating it like it's their lifestyle, which is what it is, right? When you go to work all the time, that's not a lifestyle. That's something that you have to, that's just something that's been pasted into your lifestyle that you have to do, right?
Oh. So, well, you know what? You're a robot. You become programmed. I mean, heck, I did that. Like I said, I got up at 31 years. I was in corporate, and 20 of those years I was getting up at 3:30 in the morning because I was the first guy in the door every day. And for me, I learned how to operate on autopilot because, you know, heck, I was hanging out with musicians. I'm getting home long enough just to get into my work clothes and get to work. And I mean, I would do that day. I was young.
Yeah.
I do that now. But you become desensitized. You become robotic to it. Everybody there's stuck and they don't even know it. And I finally really had a wake-up call at one point. I was kind of forced into a corner, and I gave my head a good shake and said, you know what, if I stay here any longer, it's going to kill me. I'm going to have a stroke. And 31 years, I said, I'm done. And nobody believed me. I said, I'm done. Here's my pen. I'm done.
At some point. I mean, you know, I had the same thing. Like, I had a choice of when they ended our contract when I was working for CN Rail up here. We had the choice to, you know, I could be dispersed to someplace else or take a buyout, and I had enough at that point. I had enough of my 24-hour pager and everything else, all that kind of stuff. So, anyways, I want to get some feedback from these guys here.
Yeah, good. I was just going to say so.
Yeah, Joyce and Dawn, give us some feedback on what we've discussed here. You know, we'll start with you, Joyce. You know, some feedback on what has happened with you and how the changes all happened and changed with you.
Well, I think that things are. Well, Carl emailed me several times, and I kept saying I don't want to look at this because I had quit. I had just given up because I'd been with all these guys that are jerks. Excuse my language, but they were totally jerks. I got cheated out of money here and there, and you know, I paid a lot of money. I studied a lot. I'm like Tracy. I'm a teacher. I taught 45 years for daycare, and I made my own way. I couldn't work for anybody else. But I think this is the last stand for me. I think that this is I've looked at the compensation plan, and I was talking to a gal yesterday, which is a marketer, and she said, well, I don't see anything in it for me. You know, I'm out here, I'm putting out writing material, and I said, well, I'd rather talk to people. She said, well, I don't use the phone very much. Okay, you know, do what you want to do. But I think that talking to people, and I was going through my Rolodex yesterday and looking at all the people I had sponsored over the years, and I thought, I'm going to call some of these people again. And that's what I'm doing. I'm reconnecting.
Nice.
But see, you're not using, well, you're using the old-fashioned.
I'm not using an autoresponder. I gave my autoresponder up.
Yeah.
I am talking to people. I am on Skype a lot.
That's what I mean. You're using the old-fashioned autoresponder.
Yeah, that's my autoresponder.
The original one.
And you know, I am connecting with people. I talked to one girl yesterday that I had worked with in Shackley years ago, and she said, well, what are you doing now? And I told her, well, she may look at it, she may not. So what? You know?
Yeah.
I'm going to build this business.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm going to build it.
There you go. What about you, Don?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, me, I have fun. And what Tracy said a minute ago.
I watch your videos.
Yeah. Well, if you know, I don't have a red filter on right now. That's the color of my skin today. I was out yesterday where I do my volunteer work down at Laudham Farm. We have a big craft festival, so I was in the sun all day. But I was talking to a guy yesterday who does private financial placements for CEOs and whatnot. And I talked to the guy and I said, well, you know, we're up here in Maine. Who are these CEOs? I said, the president CEO of LL Bean is the #1 wealthiest man in Maine, and he's not even worth $1 million. He said, well, I never, ever talk to anybody in Maine. And he uses his phone. So we're out
Powerful that autoresponder is.
Yeah. And, you know, we got talking about the past, and I was realizing another thing that Tracy said a minute ago, how we kind of become robotic in our thing. And when I first became a stockbroker back in 1976, we had a script that we had to say. I mean, that was the SEC that was kind of saying this. But I remember going into knocking on doors, and in 1894, we started with one product, and we still had that product. And I'm telling this to the guy yesterday, and I said, you know, that's stupid that I have that so ingrained in my brain. That company is gone. Oh, it's morphed out of business. I don't know how many times. You know, American Express, Travelers, on and on and on. So I don't even know where they are. Ameriprise, I guess, is where they are now. But anyway, back to our business. Probably my biggest problem is actually getting to work and not having fun. Because to me, fun is what it is. I mean, I ride a bike all the time. I love going out for coffee. That's why I do pretty good talking with people one-on-one. I was out the other day with one of my newest people in TLN. And the truth of the matter is I was doing a little bit of showboating. And which is kind of my style. But you know, a guy walked by.
You don't put a camera on your head all the time.
Well, I should have yesterday. That would have been a little bit not quite so red and burned. But a guy walked by and I said, man, that's a cool looking t-shirt you got. Well, that little conversation turned into probably a half an hour talking to this guy. And we got talking about all of the t-shirt was 207 Motion Sports and had a picture of a bicycle, a jogger, and something, I forget what the other thing was. And my newest guy, Tim, it was so comfortable coming out. I guess it wasn't Tim, it was Roy, my other newest guy. And I just realized that I've got to go more. I tried to do the tech online stuff. In fact, I just bought an autoresponder a couple of months ago, and I don't think I've opened it more than once. Yeah. So that's going away. Carl will be very happy to know that I made 2 phone calls today, and I don't ever call people. And it's not really that I'm afraid to. It's just
why? Yeah.
You know, I mean, I get so tired of the cynicism. I mean, Carl and I have a friend, an online friend, that when I joined this business, it wasn't 2 days later, he saw me in one of the rooms, Always Be Launching or Grooming to Be a Legend, one of those two. And he said, Don, did you join TLN? I said, well, sure. And he said, well, I've been doing this for 3 months. I haven't got anybody. And I said, well, who are you talking to? He says, well, I'm talking to people that are in his other 5, count them, 5 businesses that he's in. And I said, well, I don't even want to say his name, but I said, what?
You'd be immortalized. Be careful.
Yeah. So why do you do that? I said, we've all gone that way. I've read, who's that guy? Robert Allen, Multiple Streams of Income. Well, I read that book too, and drop you off in the middle of a city and you can make $14 million in the next 2 days. Well, maybe he can. But I think juggling all of those balls is just, I think that's where people are losing it. And I think, you know, I've even heard a few of the people around in some of our local things here where, you know, multiple streams, you got to have this. I mean, Carl knows that one of my other guys, he's not doing anything in our business, and he's so excited about another free business that he's so off the wall. And you know, you just want to take his neck and say, come on, man, wake up. You're being silly. So that's kind of where I am. I've got no intention of going anywhere else. I'm loving this. I mean, I've never been in a business with Carl. I've been in a couple of businesses side by side. Yeah. I wasn't Carl's downline. He wasn't my downline. In fact, Carl joined one of the businesses I was in, and I was making a little bit of money. But did Carl join under me? No. He went, and I don't even remember why. But we don't do things for. I mean, we do things for the emotional, I think, instead of the intelligence. So, and Carl was smart. He got out of that too. So that. So there we are.
Don, you had a really good point there. You talked about multiple streams of income, and I'm not averse to that. The problem with most people is they really don't know what that means. They mean that they can throw some money at that thing, they can throw some money at that thing, and throw some money at that thing, and they hope that out of all those things is going to actually generate some income, where really none of them even make sense together. If you have something that you're going to use, if you have a primary business, and maybe you're in a nutritional company, awesome. You know what? You're focused, you're into health and nutrition, great on you. You know, you're doing something good, your company makes sense, and you're building a team, great. Now, what makes sense is, how do you want to learn? Do you want to learn how to be better at what you do? Do you want to learn to be a big leader from the leaders in the A-list leaders in the industry? Then, of course, the Legends Network is a really good fit because it makes sense. But it sure wouldn't make sense, right? It wouldn't make sense to go off now, and I mean, there's this new Bitcoin thing coming out, and there's this and that and the other thing.
Now you go to motor oil or something.
Exactly. Yeah, let me give you a pill that you can throw in your tank, and let me go and you know, they just don't make sense.
It doesn't work for tank. I don't know. Maybe put in your own tank and see if it works.
Exactly. But see, I mean, so see, that's the problem is people hear terms they hear terms in this industry, but they really have no idea what they mean. Right?
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is this. First of all, we have approximately 5 income streams just in TLN alone.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 income streams. But here's the one thing, and I tell people about this all the time. I listen to Dragon's Den and Shark's Tank a lot. Like, I religiously watch those shows every week. Okay? And the reason I do is because we're talking about millionaires and billionaires that know how to make money, that are out looking to see if there's a fit for their portfolio. Now, you get a lot of guys, like I've seen guys come on that thing that have like food stores, like maybe a restaurant or something, or they've got a store that's going, and they want to expand, they want to start making, you know, the franchises, right? They want to franchise out. And the first thing that the Dragons will say, well, you don't seem to be making enough money here right now. You're not ready to branch out, okay? And that's a really good thing for people to think about. If you're not making enough money in your first business, you don't want to take on a second one. Because if you can't run your first one properly, you're never going to run your second one, or your third, or your fourth. All you're going to do is pay out, and there's not going to be anything coming in. Because what I've always been taught is that you have to give your business 100% of your focus, 100%, okay? And you can't even think of an additional business unless you've got infrastructure in place that can keep that first business running at 100% before you can start looking at something else. So what that means is, if you're building a business in our industry, you have to make sure that you have enough foundation and depth built that you can leave it for 3 months and it would still run like a well-oiled machine without you having to be there and do anything. That's when you can go out and start looking at another income stream. What happens to 97% plus of the people on the internet, they go, okay, I'm just going to go through and I'm going to say, okay, there looks like a good one. I'm going to write that one down. That looks like a good one. I'll write that one down and that one and that one. Now I got 5 of them. I'm going to do something here. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to join 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, $250 right out of their pocket right now. So now they're going, oh, now I can hardly wait. Now it's all going to come in. I'm just going to check my email and see what happens. Oh, nothing there yet. Maybe I'll check it tomorrow. And that's what it is. They're just checking. And they're going to be checking it for 30 days, and then they're going to get that other email that comes in. Oh, your renewal is due. 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 And then you go, oh, I don't have the money to do that. Now which one do I keep? Yep. Right? They still haven't got the fact that they got to get rid of 4 of them and keep 1. They just want to go, okay, well, just let this one go because they got enough to pay for those 4, and then we'll go again. And it's the same process. Check my email. Check my email. Check my email. It's it frustrates me to hell, I'm telling you. When I have to deal with people, and I have them in my organization, everybody does, okay, because everybody's out there. There's always people that think they got to get involved in all kinds of businesses out there, okay? You choose one business, one, and that's what you do, okay? Because, you know, even with the experience I have, I can't balance 2 of them. Yeah. Because I don't cross-populate my businesses. I do not take people from this business and put them into this business. That's bad business. Anybody, any professional will tell you that's not good business. Because if they're not making money there, they're going to bring the crap over here, and they're not going to make money here, and then everything's going to implode on you. And then now you get no business left. Totally. That's what happens. I've seen it over and over again because I used to do that, and I completely destroyed my businesses. Yeah, and your credibility, which is all you got. Your credibility goes with it too, because we know how the internet is. Oh, that Kyle, he brought me into another scam. I went in there and I didn't get any money. He's such a scam artist, right? And then that sits there on all these kind of scam sites or whatever it is, and it's all because, you know, they came into a business, they didn't do a damn thing, they didn't know what the hell they were doing, they didn't make any money, and then they were scammed. Yeah. Come on, grow up. That's right. Hey, Carl, let's see if Noella, have you got your microphone working? She doesn't have a mic. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, she's having some real difficulties today. She's being punted out of this room and everything else. I
gotta go.
Okay, Don, thanks a lot, buddy. Thanks for coming by.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, Don.
So we're going to close this off fairly quick anyways. We've been on here an hour or so. Yep.
It's like the funnels. Everybody wanting a funnel.
You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's funny. You even get these people out here, you know what, you join my system, it's a full funnel system. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make any phone calls. You don't have to just sit back and look at the pot of gold fall from the sky. Well, who the hell is doing the work? Yeah, someone's doing the damn work out there. You got some guy over in the corner there, he's all sweating going, oh my God, I got to see my kids this week, oh my God. You know, everybody else is sitting back there playing by the pool or shooting pool or whatever it is, and you get a poor guy who's sitting there in the corner, he hasn't seen his family in a month, right? Because someone has to be doing the work.
They get you into the funnel and they want you to buy this, and then you go in and you're going to buy something else.
The only one that wins out of that is the person who owns a damn funnel system. Yeah. That's the only one that wins.
Right. So I mean, that's what's out there too.
But I've seen it way too much. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I think we've covered a lot here today. I think a lot of people understand how to build a successful business online. I think we covered quite a bit of stuff. Tracy, thank you very much for coming on, and Joyce, thank you for coming on, and Noella, we always thank you for coming on. And you know, you're such a silent person here. I can't believe it. We never hear anything from you. Yes. So, but anyways, you know what, Alejandro, you just kind of came on late. We're just on our way out. Sorry, pal. So, but appreciate you all, okay?
Everybody, the party's over.
See you all next week. We got some great news coming.
Yeah, we got some great stuff coming up, you guys. So stay tuned. And well, the office, I got the production company will be open all weekend, working hard behind the scenes. And
¿Dónde está la cámara? Digo, la casa.
Okay. Good things coming. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Carl. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great weekend, too, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Sí.